Intro's on you, homie.
It is time for the Savage Sport Pod. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is our college edition. We will be talking Ohio State, Michigan canceled, talking a few games. College football season is winding down, so we're going on into the 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 bowl game season pretty much. It's time for bowls and championship games. So yeah, Griff, talk to us a little bit about uh, Ohio State.
Well, all right. So starting with the Big Ten, they put in this nice little rule that pretty much the what's the word I want to use? Pretty much eliminates them from their own conference championship. They have to play. It was a minimum of 8 games for the season, but they had the nice little writing in their little paper. You got to read the fine print, saying that if COVID affected enough teams within the Big Ten, that the games be moved down to a minimum of 6 games to be eligible for their conference championship. Now, Ohio State's only played 5 because they've had so many canceled. When teams like Indiana have played roughly 8 games already, or 7 to 8 games for certain ones. Wisconsin is one of those other teams that should be eliminated from the conference championship, which of course they haven't won enough games in the first place to be in the picture. So,
Well, Big Ten has changed the
yes,
rule in the last 4 hours. Ohio State is eligible now to play in the Big Ten championship. So, with their game with Michigan being canceled, you're looking at a 5 game, 6 game Ohio State going to the Big Ten championship, possibly winning it, giving
more than
them
likely they're going to
7
win
games.
it.
So, now here's the question. Here's the big question. Does Ohio State deserve that playoff spot? My honest answer is no, they do not. I'm not an Ohio State hater. I like Ohio State. I think Ohio State is better than Florida, and I think Ohio State is better than Texas A&M. But here's the thing: Ohio State has not played the same tough schedule that A&M and Florida have played. Ohio
No,
State has not ventured. Every other team's played 11 to 12 games. Bottom line, right?
yeah,
So we've got to look at it. You got to look at big picture. The Big Ten did this. They created this situation. Everybody else started football in early September. They gave time to, if a game had to be canceled, it could be replayed. They could have done that. The Big Ten could have done that, and they didn't. They dug their own grave. Big Ten does not deserve a spot in the playoffs, which means, unfortunately, and if you're an Ohio State fan, I am sorry, they do not belong in the college football playoff. They do not. I hate that it's a SEC ACC scenario, but that's that's on the Big Ten. That's the Big Ten's fault. They should have started in September like everybody else. If you had a game cancellation, guess what? You could have moved that bad boy back just like the SEC and ACC did and replayed that game. And they refused it. They didn't. That's on them.
that's
So
true.
sorry to the Ohio State faithful. You do not deserve a playoff spot.
Yeah,
Are you a great team? Yes, 100% a great team. Would you hang with the Alabama Clemsons and Notre Dame's? Yes, 100% you would. But you do not deserve that spot.
yeah. Like I said before, the fine print pretty much got them. They can't play outside of conference, and they can't reschedule in their conference. So honestly, what are they supposed to do to make up for the games? Do I think that they would actually make up the games if given the opportunity? Like, yeah, I think Ohio State would. They don't want to be default missing out on the BCS championship or a Big Ten championship just because of fine print. So, yeah, the Big Ten pretty much screwed them. If they gave them a chance to play outside conference to at least get enough games in to at least hit the 8 and be competitive as far as games played, Ohio State would be in the money, but they're not giving them the opportunity to play outside the conference. Now, I did see the one thing talking about Texas A&M making up one of their games, and that game being against Ohio State. Now,
Yep. That would be a great idea. That would be a brilliant idea. Ohio State Texas A&M play the game.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Now, that would put what, the number four versus the number five team, and pretty much solidify, I guess you could say, their power standing as far as Ohio State if they won that game, or Texas A&M if they won. So therefore, it would actually give them a higher bid possibly if they beat Ohio State versus going against Clemson, Alabama, Clemson, Alabama. It would give them more standing room. Granted, they might throw up the whole little fact that Ohio State is a 5-0 team playing a team that's won 9-1 right now, or 8-2, whichever way it is for them. Saying, well, they didn't play a whole lot of games, so that's not really saying a whole bunch. So I mean, either way it goes, the benefit would really go to Ohio State, but it would actually give Texas A&M a chance to move up into that number four spot, which puts them in BCS competition. Now, without that happening, or unless Florida State is, I mean, not Florida State, but Ohio State is completely null and void from the whole competition as far as BCS, Texas A&M gets it anyway. So it's not like it's up to Texas A&M to really play the game. They could sit there and sit out, do the same thing Michigan done, pretty much be like, sorry, we got COVID all of a sudden. We can't play this game, but our standing is going to still be right there where it's at. And y'all are ineligible, so we're going to get that spot anyway.
Yeah,
It's,
that's not Jimbo Fisher's move, though. Jimbo Fisher would play that game.
I would hope he would, but if we're talking politic wise, then yeah, politics takes a whole different turn of events when it comes to college. Boosters want the games played. Some boosters don't want to play. But if you're really thinking about having a chance to actually say you completed for a BCS championship, the easiest way to get in right now would be not to play Ohio State.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's you're proving yourself. You're proving you deserve to be there, and Texas A&M needs to do that. Uh, I don't know, man. This COVID thing has screwed up the
Yeah,
football season. It's out of hand. Uh, if we're being honest, I see the playoff committee putting Ohio State in.
you cannot
I see,
classify LSU with Ohio State. Don't even go there. That's not even close.
yeah,
Steve Kirkland,
LSU
that's no.
LSU should be embarrassed, most definitely. But we'll walk away from Ohio State. We'll move on
What?
to something else. I think there's going to be some coaching changes throughout this year. At the end of this season, I think Jim Harbaugh should be out. I think Jeremy Pruitt's probably looking. He's probably got one more year, but I see his foot out the door. Gus Malzahn, I see his foot out the door at Auburn. Where is the coach from Liberty, Hugh Freeze? Where is he going to land? I think there are some top schools that want him. And if I'm Michigan, I'm pushing Harbaugh so far out that door at the end of the season, and I'm calling Hugh Freeze, and I'm going to say, hey, how much do you want? What is it going to take to get you here? Uh, but
Hardball
you're going to
money?
have yeah, but you're going to have teams like Auburn who wants Malzahn gone. They've always wanted him gone. You're going to have teams like that that going to say, okay, let's take a look at Hugh Freeze. And I think Michigan, if they mess around with Harbaugh, they're going to miss a chance on hiring a top quality coach.
Well, the one thing I didn't think about, what type of offense does Liberty run? Is it more of a run and shoot offense, or is it a mix between power and
It is a no huddle running gun, throw that ball all over the field offense.
then Michigan ain't gonna be his spot then? Not with the Big Ten, no.
No,
Mm,
he can make that. He because Liberty wasn't a offense like that. Hugh Freeze come in and made them that.
yeah, but if he wants to go to an offense that already has that type of mentality and possibly has the receivers that can actually complement that style of a no huddle run and gun status, then you're honestly looking at him going somewhere into the Big 12 or possibly in the SEC, but not Michigan. I don't see Michigan translating into them because, for one, they don't have the quarterback, which means he's going to have to wait a year or two to get the quarterback and develop him. Two, they've never really had the receivers. They're more of on the defensive side. Their best receiver and was a defensive back. That was Charles Woodson. That's the last one I could really even think of. The
Yeah,
other ones
but
that came out, they suck. Now,
Michigan, like Florida State, is got to come to grips with okay, we have to rebuild, right? It's time to look at that. It's rebuild time from the bottom up.
I'm
You've
not going
got
to
to
disagree.
uh, Florida State got rid of all their dead weight, and now their practices are going smooth. Things are happening at that school. Is it going to be a quick turnaround? No, we're looking 4 to 5 years before we ever see Florida State back on top again. But Michigan, they can do it a little quicker. You got to get the right guy in to do it, though. And Hugh Freeze, in my opinion, is the right guy.
I don't see it happening. I get
You can
that.
develop. You can develop it, and don't say you don't see it happening because we watched Georgia Tech go from triple option to the spread offense, and it worked.
Yes,
It
because Georgia Tech has a
it took
ton of athletes.
yeah.
They,
So Michigan has a ton of athletes.
yeah, but you've seen them play, man.
Your Ohio State colors are showing.
No, I'm not. I'm being honest
Let
on
it
this
go.
one. I don't see
Let
it
it go on
happening.
record. Let it go on record that the Ohio State fan is scared of them Wolverines. A smack at Buckeye rear end.
No, no, not in the least bit. But I honestly do not see it
You scared?
happening with him going.
You say you're scared. You scared? You say you're scared, Griff.
The one that played COVID sick. But no, in my opinion, this is my thought process. If they're going to bring in Hugh Freeze, they gave Harbaugh what 5 years to have a winning team, and he didn't accomplish it. Now, if they bring in Liberty coach Hugh Freeze, he's going to be on a shorter leash than the big name of Harbaugh was. So I don't see them giving him 3, 4, 5 years to build his team up, regardless of what he done at Liberty. Which is why I'm saying for him, if he's running the spread offense and he already wants the pieces in place for the most part, especially as far as the receiving school goes. He's looking Big 12, maybe in the Pac 10, but not necessarily
Hugh
ACC or
Freeze won't go.
SEC.
No, Hugh
But
Freeze is going to go where he can win a national championship. Where is the spread in the SEC? Auburn.
it
Auburn
is,
runs their offense.
it's true. But then if you, I'm saying, when I'm going to say the Big 12, because I'm thinking Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, Texas, Baylor.
Right. But they're all sitting their coaches. Those guys are dead.
I wouldn't go so
I
far
don't know.
as
Tom
Texas.
Herman. Tom Herman may be. Tom Herman may be on the chopping block.
Yeah, Texas coach, I don't think he's
I
going to
will
be
give
there
it
too
to
much
him.
longer. And I mean, he
Hugh
gets to come
Freeze,
in.
he's not going to go.
Well, I take that back. Texas is going to have to need a quarterback. If Oklahoma wasn't doing what Oklahoma was doing, that would probably be the best place for him to land, especially having Spencer Rattler as his quarterback, pretty much a freshman, and go ahead and work him into the system, especially
Yeah,
since he
but they're
came out
not
of high
getting rid
school
of.
with that.
They're, they're not getting rid of their coach. I mean, we're talking crazy talk at that point. There's Oklahoma's not getting rid of their coach. You've got a very small window of who Auburn, Michigan, and a couple other teams that are getting rid of their coaches. Oklahoma's not one of
Yeah. Overall, I will say this much. I do not think it's going to be the money that's going to be taking him. I think he's going to go where he has at least a good foundation and enough players to sit there and make his offense work, at least get him to a 500 record his first year and then build up from there. So, yeah, that's my opinion. Don't go to
them. I
Auburn.
see what you. So I'm going to hit the rumor mill real quick. Uh, there is a rumor circulating that Nick Saban will retire after this year. How true that is, I don't know. I personally don't see it happening. He's only 70. Bobby coached into his late 70s. Joe Pa, he coached until his late 80s. Don't see Saban retiring anytime soon, but that is on the rumor mill. I thought I'd throw that out. Uh,
I
not
say he
sure
will.
where it started from. Not I don't because he's still winning. I think Saban's not going to pull a Bobby or Paterno. That I can guarantee. Saban's not going to sit and watch the decline of the program and try to stick through it. I think Saban retires. Like if they have a bad year and he sees that it's gonna okay, we're fixing to gradually start having those bad years because college football is cyclical. Every few years teams turn around and build back up. with Saban, I don't see him retiring for a few more years. I think Saban's going to go well into probably 74, 75. I don't know, unless Alabama come out and is like, hey, coach, if you don't want to coach anymore, we got this. We'll make you AD. I could see that happen and him taking that. But that's as far as I see that going.
I'm just saying, if COVID-19 is still running around in about next year, which more than likely it will be, if Saban already got it, he's like, man, I about died just from this once, and you want me to go take a chance? Nah, he's got more than enough money saved up to sit there and live comfortably. But yeah, if he did retire, though, that would actually be
I
something. Speaking about
I
moves, though, the one
see
thing you
the
forgot,
COVID situation.
what about Jim Harbaugh supposedly going back to the NFL?
I don't see it. I don't see it.
What was it? San Francisco was the last one. Did not prove himself as a college head coach. NFL, he done okay. I would say
No, Harbaugh did okay at San Diego and Stanford.
I see him going back, but not as a head coach. I see him possibly going back as maybe a defensive coordinator, considering he should not be back at Michigan next year. But I see him going back as a defensive coordinator in the NFL. And I will say this: whoever he's under, he needs to have a good offensive-minded coach to sit there and possibly learn something from. Now, in that case, I'll go ahead and toss Andy Reid up. I don't see him working well with Bill Belichick. Um, Eagles' offense, his offensive scheme is amazing. Peterson's offensive scheme is amazing, but apparently on the defensive side, they could use some help. But I see him going back to the NFL though. Somebody's going to give him a chance that needs a possible defensive coordinator or something like that because
Oh,
offensive side, he hasn't done anything on the offensive side.
somebody will
That'd be
give
dumb. What if he went with his brother in Baltimore?
somebody will give Harbaugh.
But what if he went to
Somebody
Baltimore
will
with the
give him a
brother?
chance. I just don't see it.
True. We'll talk about that one tomorrow. We'll leave the hardball for
But
tomorrow on the speculation. But what you got
let's
next?
jump into these games, Griff. Let's jump into these games. We got number 9 Georgia facing number 25 Missouri. Missouri's got a little swagger to them in their walk. They're winning some games they probably shouldn't be winning. Uh,
Same
but
with
I
Georgia.
think in the end, Georgia, yeah, I think talent in Georgia outweighs it. But I do think this game is going to be close. I think it's going to be a touchdown. I don't think it's going to be a big blowout. I think it's going to be a touchdown game. Georgia, Georgia will beat them by 7.
I can't go with you yet on that one. I got to check this one out. I at least got to look up on Missouri. I want to say Georgia's going to win it just because Georgia is Georgia and they miraculously come out and pull out the stuff when they really, really, really need to. But 25 Missouri, who they got on there? Who have they played? Let me see this real quick. Oh, they lost to Alabama 38-19. Oh my God, they lost to Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
LSU don't count. Kentucky they won. Lost. Yeah, Georgia's gonna win it. Georgia's got postponed. The only thing they've done was South Carolina for the most part, and I wouldn't even count them. Yeah, Georgia's got this one. If they're gonna lose to Tennessee, there is really no hope, regardless of what swagger they gained. I mean, they've been getting lots of points up on the board, but no, no, not to losing to Tennessee. I expect them to give Georgia a
I think
fight though.
Missouri's going to come in. I'm going to come in. I'm expecting them to come in and want to fight. So, but Georgia's talent outwins every day. But we'll move on to our next game. We'll stick with the SEC. LSU versus Florida. LSU has been an embarrassment this year. They're the worst returning national championship, defending national championship team I can remember the date. Uh, Florida easily 17 points on this one. Florida will win big time.
All right, I can give it that one. For one, I want to give a shout out to an old friend. What's up, Kong? I ain't see you in a minute, man. I'm glad you're still kicking around. Me and him used to work together, but haven't seen him in a long time. Hey, thanks for tuning in, Chris Sherman. LSU, Florida, right? Yeah, I get Florida. LSU, they haven't got everything clicking with them right now. Um, Running game isn't necessarily there. Quarterback play definitely is not there. I'm gonna go Florida by 25, man. No, actually, I'm gonna take Florida by 27. Uh, let's see, 2010 season. What you talking about, Major? Oh, you talking about Harbaugh, right? Kobe Fleener, Andrew Luck. Yep, yep. Stephon Taylor,
Yeah, he
Doug
was
Baldwin.
defensive at Stanford.
True, true. I'm talking about right now. He has not done anything.
Yeah. Let's jump into our last SEC game, Alabama versus Arkansas. I believe this is a makeup game from the COVID issues. Arkansas's got a decent team. I like the head coach. I think they're moving in the correct direction. I think they're going to build that program to be a little bit better than they've been in the past. But Alabama's too much for the Razorbacks. I think the Tide rolls by 21.
I'll hit you later in a minute on that one, Griff. Yeah, Arkansas. Oh man, it's gonna be a blowout probably. It literally is. I don't see it being anything else but a blowout. Um, they don't have a whole bunch on their record. I mean, they beat Mississippi State when they were ranked. Miss beat Tennessee, which is more than I can say for Missouri. But they've been competitive. So Alabama's going to win, but I don't see Arkansas getting less than possibly 24 points in the game. If they can keep it close, it might be a shootout towards the second half. If they can keep it close, if it's that first half and Alabama decides to run away with the game by 2 or 3 touchdowns, it's a wrap, hands down.
Major, I agree with you. Alabama's going to win. You say Alabama by 37. I will point out, though, this is the week before the SEC championship. So the reason I only give them 21 points, winning by 21, is I think Saban's going to pull a lot of his key starters before the second half. I think the second half of that game, you're going to see a lot of the backups for Alabama. He's going to preserve his starters for the SEC championship game.
I think he'll make it a tune-up game. I think this is what
Yeah,
this will probably be. It'll be a tune-up game, going to get back to some of the basics, pull out a couple of trick plays, see how they work, but he ain't gonna dig too deep into the pouch. If he's running straight dives the whole game and picking up 5 to 10 yards on each one, I see him running dives the whole game, and then just hit him with a play action and just burn them deep.
yeah,
Um,
they're going to be preparing for Florida. Arkansas's not priority on their list. They're going to start a lot of backups coming into that second half. I think Alabama's goal is going to be build a big enough lead the first half that they can pull their starters and not risk injury. Uh, and if I'm Saban, that's what I would do because Florida's not going to be a pushover in that title game. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a shootout that next week. But yeah, going to get a lot of playing time for second and third stringers in that second half. I can guarantee it.
Bryce Young's gonna play, and then if Alabama makes it to the national title, they're gonna sit Mac Jones and put Bryce Young in.
And then we'll move into some Big Ten action. Wisconsin versus Iowa. I'm off the Wisconsin train. They made a believer out of me the first few games of the season, but I'm off that train. I'm going Iowa by 17. The Hawkeyes. They're going to
Ooh,
run it up.
ooh. I think I might take you on that one. Let's see. Wisconsin, they lost what to Indiana and lost to Northwestern. Just to spite you, Sam, I think Wisconsin is going to pull their head out the ground. I'm going to give them 17-point victory.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. I like Iowa because they still run that smash mouth football. So I still like Iowa for that respect by itself. But I think Wisconsin's going to pull something together. I don't see them wanting to have a complete losing season, possibly try to at least break 500, considering how they had so many games canceled already. So I'm gonna give them 17
Okay. Hey, it could go either way. Really could.
because Ohio State is a God blessing of football. Okay, they are the holy grail of sports in college football. Alabama is the fake grail. Ohio State just has to come show them what it really, really means. All right. It's the princess and the frog type of thing. This is why Ohio State is in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? They see that it's a fraud, but as soon as it gets a
They
kiss and
ain't
it
in the
says
playoffs yet.
BCS,
Talking about they ain't in the playoffs yet.
you
No.
ruin you ruin my
That's
flow.
all. I don't care. Y'all peanut season y'all have had. Park League ball. But let's move
Peanut.
to the game of the week. This is my game of the week, mainly because this is gonna be the best game on
FSU
the
is a
Saturday.
peanut team.
The they are. North Carolina Tar Heels versus the U, the Hurricanes, the Chain.
Major used to be a Miami U fan.
Who? Who?
My brother Lee Griff used to be a Miami U fan
All
until
right.
Ohio State went down
Vanessa,
there and whooped that butt.
I'm gonna need my admin Vanessa to block Major League Griffey from all Savage Sports Pod activity. He can no longer comment. I can't deal with Major being a Miami fan.
Hey, those three games that they played is more than Wake Forest pretty much won when you were there.
Ooh, that's low. But who you got, Griff? Who you got? You know who I got? I'm gonna go with the Tar Heels because it sucks to be you. Tar Heels all the way. My man Sam Howell is gonna torch that defense. I think they show up uh, big time. Uh, Mac Brown's a great coach. I got the utmost respect for Mac Brown. Where did he get his start? Oh, Mac Brown played football at Florida State, and he used to coach at Florida State. Got a little Seminole blood in him, so we're gonna whoop that. He's gonna whoop them Canes for me. He's gonna
You know
do
I
it for the
ain't there no more,
Noles.
right? You know I ain't FSU no more, right? He had to upgrade to a good team.
No, he's got no blood in him. He played Florida State under Lee Corso. Lee Corso was his head
He did until he realized what
coach.
hurricanes were
Fun
wiping out
facts.
Florida. You know what I'm saying? He realized hurricanes were wiping out Florida, the whole state of Florida, and had to go down to the U to be part of that. You know that nice little tide that's coming in. You know he had to be part of them canes, get that green and black and orange blood in them. So I'm gonna go
Yeah.
Miami on this one also, especially since how Florida State, the peanut team of college football right now, almost worse than Vandy, beat North Carolina. So I'm going with the U's. I did it, Sam. I went there. I couldn't help it. I apologize.
I'm ignoring you.
So I'm going the U. That's the only thing me and you gonna agree on, Major.
I'm so glad that the Browns beat Tennessee last week.
They did. They did.
All this
Baker
smack
Mayfield
you
beat them.
talking, all this smack you talking to me, upsetting me right here towards the end of the show with this Kane talk. Look, yes, Florida State beat North Carolina. Uh, North Carolina, I think, was sleeping on Florida State, uh, and that's why they ended up losing that game. But I also think Florida State's not as bad as we say they are. I just
We'll
think
find out.
they have they had a lot of camp. Yeah, they played Duke Saturday. I'll hit this one real quick. They do play Duke Saturday. If everything I'm hearing coming out of their practices this week is true, you might see a different Florida State team. You
Yeah.
might see a Florida State team that puts 60 points on Duke. But then again, you might see a Florida State team that we've seen all year and loses by 60 points to Duke. So, but I'm picking Florida State in that one just because they are playing Duke and the things I've heard coming out of practice this week. I think Florida State will pull it off.
I hope they do because it is Duke, by the way. I mean, they ain't got Daniel Jones no more, so shouldn't necessarily
All
have
right,
that victory.
Major, me and you about to have issues. Number one, we won in that two more national championships since Charlie. All right, Major, you used to be my favorite Griffey. Now you starting to slide down the pole, bro. You sliding down in the rankings.
Look, we
Certainly.
just know we just know good sports. Griff's knows sports. That's all I can say. Um, I will say this one. Last one I hit. The standings right now, we got pretty much in the AP poll, I think, or college poll, either one. Bama number one, Notre Dame number two, Clemson number three, Ohio State, then Texas A&M, Florida, Iowa State, and Cincinnati are technically ranked seventh if you go in both polls. But the top six are pretty much solidified. Then you got Georgia, Miami, Oklahoma, and Indiana just on the outskirts of like that top six. Now I will
And we've
say,
got
go
we've got
ahead.
the championship games coming up. So Alabama's going to steamroll Florida. So
Yep.
Florida will drop. And then what happens if Notre Dame slips up and they beat Clemson in the ACC championship? That makes Clemson two losses. They will drop out of the top five, but you switch it. Clemson beats Notre Dame. They're both staying top four. So
Technically,
it could.
yes, because we're having this is one of those scenarios with Ohio State and Alabama that year, where Ohio State got kicked out of it because of strength of conference. But yeah, Alabama was a two loss team, so was Ohio State. But Alabama, I think, lost at the end, and they still got the nod for that fourth spot. But in a scenario, yeah, let's say Clemson loses. Clemson gets bumped out possibly to number five because it's still Notre Dame, and Notre Dame is ranked number two, which I still hate because then you're going to have a 8-2 team still stuck in the top four when Florida more than likely is going to be 10-1, 11-1.
No, Florida will be eight, whatever, and two because they're not beating Alabama
That's
in
true.
the SEC.
Which bumps
So
Florida out. So then you're left with Ohio, Iowa State, Cincinnati.
no, well, you're left with Texas A&M too.
Yeah,
Clemson losing would benefit Ohio State and Texas A&M. I think.
true. Very true. But then you still got
But
Cincinnati is kind of getting the short end of the stick. Granted, they're going to be playing Tulsa,
they
but
deserve the short end. You make me do this every week.
they can deserve it all you
Every
want.
They deserve to get the short end of the stick. You want me to respect you, play real teams, play real ball. Until then, I'm not going to respect you. You don't deserve to be in my playoffs.
You sound you on some Chris stuff right now.
I'm just saying.
You think Chris deserves
Cincinnati
to be in
don't
the
feel
playoffs?
they who?
Chris.
No.
All right, he's in the playoffs, right?
In our league, yeah, but he's trash.
All right. So if Chris is getting the nod for it, I'm giving Cincinnati the nod regardless. All right.
They
Give
don't
the
get
little
no
guy a
nods,
shot.
bro. They ain't played no damn body.
Look at the little Giants, man. Look at the replacements. I mean, look at any given Sunday. I mean, all of them got a chance, and look what happened.
Hey, this ain't a script, bro.
Look what happened.
This
It
ain't a
is a
script.
script. Every football
It
game
ain't.
is a script.
We
Every
ain't.
football
We
game
ain't
is a script.
Hollywood. We ain't in Hollywood.
That's beside the point.
You know what? I got to know something. What's your favorite all-time football movie?
Oh man, can I pick two?
Nope. All-time favorite.
See, this makes it hard right here. You can't let me have two.
Nope.
Are we talking about a football movie to get crunk to or a football movie to laugh at?
I'm talking football movie. All-time football movie. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you
Never
anything
mind.
other
Nope.
than
Nope. I know mine. Don't
anything.
even say nothing yet. Don't say
If
nothing
the
yet.
answer ain't the program, it's the wrong answer.
That's my answer.
Boom. I trust you again.
But aside from the program, though, I will watch any given Sunday, hands down. Steaming,
Oh yeah.
Willie, beaming. And then I got to hit the
Any given
replacements
Sunday
after
is
that.
great. Yep. Replacements is a great movie. But the program is hands down the greatest football movie ever made.
It is the Little Giants, Stacy. It is the Little Giants. That's why you didn't make the playoffs. Coastal Carolina ain't in it, no, but they did put up a good season.
They smacked BYU around. Hey man, them jokers played dirty when they played BYU. They
BYU
got
wasn't
my
ready.
respect. Coastal Carolina's got my respect. Major, that's the any
Oh,
given Sunday, Friday night lights, Marshall. No, but I'll give you this. The program, Any Given Sunday, Friday
And
Night
Night
Lights.
Lights.
I didn't. We Are Marshall's a good movie. It ain't top five.
Hey, if you want to win, you gotta let booby spin, right? Oh, dude, you know we're forgetting. After Friday Night Lights, remember the Titans.
Yep.
Yeah.
Remember the Titans. That's top five. Definitely
Yeah.
top five.
Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Varsity Blues.
Oh, see, you got us
Varsity
on a
Blues is a good one.
Varsity Blues was a little bit R rated.
It was. Well, all of them are rated. Hell, Any Given Sunday are rated.
Well, that's true too, though. That give it a 10. 10. Yeah.
Billy Bob.
But
He said,
definitely,
"Look at that
yeah.
man."
Look, I'm saying give Cincinnati a shot. Worst case scenario, they upset someone. I
Well,
get
that's why
it.
I feel we need an 18 playoff. That gives teams like Coastal Carolina and Cincinnati a chance to get in, right? But we
Yeah.
don't have an 18. In a perfect world, we would have an 18 playoff. We don't. We only have a 4 team, which means the best four are going. And you can't tell me Cincinnati and Coastal Carolina is better than anybody in the top five right now.
Mm, Can't tell you that, but
Oh, Rashawn Jackson. Yes, I want to see that movie. It's going to be on Disney Plus. It's called Safety. It was filmed at Clemson. I do want to watch that. I heard it was based on a true story. Miss Jackson, could you confirm that for me? Is that based on a true story? Because I do want to see it.
come on, cuz, you got to get the info on this one. Because if that's the case, I do got to see it. I make the family watch that one.
I want to see it. Yeah, it's supposed to be a good family movie. Uh, I've seen the previews for it, but yeah, it looks good. I definitely want to see that movie, even
Yeah.
though it's about my little sister Clemson. You know, yep, she said it is based on a true story. Actually, exactly, Major, exactly. Alabama would destroy Cincinnati as a number 4 seed. It would probably be 70-point game.
Got it, Miss Griffey. December 11th, we got it. We'll watch it. Thank you, cuz, for that information. And I got you, Miss Griffey. I got you. You've been quiet tonight. I understand.
Oh,
Sam left you
I
hanging last
do,
week.
I do got to give a shout out since we talking about wives. I want to wish my beautiful, wonderful wife a happy 41st birthday. She has put up with this gorgeous, handsome of a man for 16 years, and I'm not supposed to tell her age, so she's
So I
calling
was
herself
wondering when you
fat.
was going to get hit for that one. Hey, use your strong hand to block it.
I'm only, I'm only 24. She is 41. She robbed the cradle. Listen, listen. If y'all don't hear from me on Facebook, she killed me. If y'all don't see me or hear from me, I've been murdered. And I need y'all to call the police because she did it. She threw an apple at
Hey,
me, bro.
hey, look, Sam, all I got to tell you is snitches get
She threw an
stitches.
apple at.
Snitches get stitches. I ain't telling nothing. Or better yet, I hit you with that rocket. If he dies, he dies. Oh man. Happy birthday. I'm glad you are a whole 24 years old. I wish you many more birthdays. Seem like you trying to really kill me now.
She murdered me in my sleep, bro. I might sleep with one eye open.
But what happened? Well, he did have surgery here recently. That's probably what got him.
Oh, and thanks to all the prayers. I know I had some people, just to update, my wrist is doing 100 times better. I'm pain free. So for all those that prayed and said a few prayers for me, thank you, thank you, thank you, because I am doing 100% better.
Oh, you definitely are. I saw your wrist when you took that picture of it. It looked like I can't even explain it.
Yeah, it was nasty.
It it wow.
Yeah, it was Yes.
Yeah, he better behave, but it was nasty though. Mm, mm.
All right, Greg. Is there anything else you want to touch on college ball wise, or
Nope, nothing that I could think of besides, hey, college football's coming to an end. So NFL is what y'all probably get a majority of us here coming in a few weeks after all the bowl game starts. But don't worry about that. We're still gonna hit you off with some college because once you go from college, NFL status, right? We're gonna hit you up with our picks. We're gonna tell you what the teams actually do need versus these rough diamonds that they pick up or people that they just picking up to be picking up. So, but we're gonna keep y'all coming. We're gonna keep it coming. So don't worry about that part. Football is forever.
yep, yep.
But if you ain't got nothing, I ain't got nothing. Then everybody that tuned in tonight, hey, thank y'all for all the comments. Thank y'all for contributing. The U will win. Cincinnati will make it to the playoffs along with Ohio State. Notre Dame gets knocked out. That's my prediction. And tomorrow we will see y'all for our Thursday night NFL action. And I will say go NFC East early right now. But until then, hey, we'll see everybody tomorrow. Y'all have a good night. Tune in tomorrow. Watch us. We'll be on here at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Y'all have a wonderful night.